Your name is Emma?
Yeah.
Correct? And my name is Zeam. What pronouns do you use?
I use she, they, them.
Cool, cool,
What
cool.
pronouns do you use?
I use they, them, and also just Z. And so instead of being a boy or girl or something undefined or in the middle, I kind of like, just use my name. You know, my name is Zeem. So if you just use Z instead of a pronoun, it's like more personalized and like less fitting into a binary. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's summer, school's coming up. Do you like school?
I'm pretty sure no kids like school.
Right, like 100%.
But like all the people at school, it's nice to see them. And if you're going to a new school, it's nice if someone else you know is going to that school.
Because you're going into 6th grade. Is there anything you hope that will be different from like your old school to, you know, middle school now?
I just hope that the teachers will be as nice.
Yeah. What makes a teacher nice?
For me, it's when they ask me my pronoun and when they support me and when they call me as equal as everyone else.
You said it's cool when teachers ask pronouns? That was never a thing when I was like in elementary school or even middle school. Did you find that you had to like ask for that or like even educate your teachers?
Well, when I had a substitute, sometimes I had to educate. Like one time when the substitute called me a boy. I even had some friends stick up for me. They were like, she's a girl.
And it was kind of weird, you know, when we have to educate the folks who are supposed to educate us, that's kind of a struggle and kind of a hassle. So at your school, what would you find it, when it comes to like gender stuff? Like what would get on your nerves? What was like, oh wow, this is really cool?
Well, what would get on my nerves is like when they'd say, boys sing this, girls sing that in music. And I like when they'd say like, all right, everyone just sing. Or like choose a part. They eventually, like, at the end of the year, they just started saying, choose a part.
Yeah.
So you could choose our own part to sing.
What about like in gym class or like, what would you like, how do you find it, do you have gym class?
Yeah, we have gym class, and I remember we had track and field day, and one of the girls could throw way farther than one of the boys.
I remember when I was in 4th grade, I sprained my thumb because this boy said girls couldn't do one-arm push-ups. And at the time, you know, everyone thought I was a girl, but I could do one-arm push-ups because my grandfather had taught me. And so I like kept doing one-arm push-ups even after he like, you know, bullied me a little bit. Ended up spraining my thumb just to prove him wrong. Isn't that ridiculous?
A little bit, but it's like it's fun to prove them wrong sometimes because it's just like you think that I can't.
It's kind of disheartening too when folks are like policing you on just using a bathroom or something. It's kind of like a small form of bullying, you know?
Yeah.
And like I see it, like I really like your shirt. Can you tell me more about your shirt? Yeah.
Well, at my old school, at Carver Elementary, I was a patrol. You know, there's no point to bully anyone. Everyone's the same.
It's really cool to see you take action to stop bullying. But like, what is something you wish teachers would do so that maybe it wasn't always up on your shoulders to do something?
They should think about the people of color and the people who don't have a gender, and maybe the people whose gender makes them sad or scared that someone will tease them, and all the LGBTQ people who really just need support. And I think that teachers should think for those people more instead of thinking of teaching class and, oh, this day needs to get over. And maybe like if they see someone sad, they could go and help that person rather than continue teaching their class.
I know for me, sometimes I wish too that like teachers wouldn't, you know, you said like they just continue their lesson, right? Which doesn't make us feel good when stuff goes down. I wish they were smart enough or cool enough to like improv and incorporate that moment into the lesson, right? Like, I don't care if you're teaching math, science, you know, humanities, like if someone says something like kind of off the wall, wouldn't it be cool if teachers just like handled it right then? I experienced a lot of bullying in school just for, you know, being chubbier, being, you know, not wearing the right things that girls are supposed to wear. So I think I just was bullied a lot. I was just like one of those weird kids who would rather like play, you know, imaginary things than play tag on the sports field or like at recess time, you know? So I didn't have a lot of friends. So you like video games, right?
There are those games where they have choose your gender, girl or boy. And like, sometimes I like the girl character better, or sometimes I like the boy character better, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to be a boy in this one, because they don't give you any option.
Do you ask friends to come over and play video games, and are they surprised, like, you playing video games?
Well, like, I know all of my friends. If they didn't support me in this, I probably wouldn't have them. Because I'm not gonna have a friend who doesn't support me. And
I've never thought about saying it that straight up and that straightforward, of like, keeping people around who support you in all that you do, like from hair to video games to, you know, in school.
Because, I mean, if they don't support you, should you really have that person as your friend?
Right. Best case scenario, when you walk into school, what's it gonna be like?
When I walk into school, I really just hope it's gonna be like a normal school, and except a little more like everyone will be a little bit more appreciative of the genders and things. They'll just do what's need to be done to make everyone feel safe. So like, if a teacher were to bring up genders instead of just saying boys, girls, or everybody, how would you feel?
Oh, I would love that. Like, you know, when they give examples, it would be nice if sometimes the examples they gave were with folks who were genderqueer, or even if history teachers talked more, not just about like all the cool white guys who did cool things in the past, but like more folks, like more women, like in history, or like more people of color and stuff like that.
Maybe they could even find some people who are like Z or they, them in history and talk about them a little bit. At least one unit could be something a little more for people LGBTQ.
Heck yeah! Oh, more representation in the classroom would be amazing.